Hello, YouTube! I am Pinstar, and this is Big Ambitions Strategy and Tactics, Episode 1. So, what is Big Ambitions? Well, if you were around my channel a while ago, you'll remember that I did not one but two full series on this game called This Grand Life, where we took a, down on her luck heroine, Nema Relicta, who was all alone in a big city. First it was Melbourne? And the other, one city in Australia and then one in New York. Well, this game is somewhat similar to that in that you are a singular avatar, and it is on you to create a business empire in the big city of New York. So let us dive right in. We're going to start a new game, and we're going to do the custom game. That way we don't get any freebies up front. And this is basically all the settings, I think, akin to hard mode on the tutorial side, but without the tutorial. I will be your tutorial. 4,200 starting money, normal multipliers around here. The game does have aging and days per year. The game ends when your character dies. And you can only run your empire for so long. So making time count is just as important as making money count. So let's dive in. And of course, with the character here, we need Nema Relicta. Now, as far as I remember, that's the correct skin color. She is definitely, from her bar fighting days, on the fightier side. There. And then I think for hair, hair type would be down here and definitely would be black hair, if I remember her portrait from the past games. That looks about right. As far as face shape goes, yeah, that one looks a little bit better. Clothing, I think she was more, yeah, why not? Yellow with the game's logo on it. That's fine. For bottoms, this isn't The Sims. There's not a lot of options, but yeah, we might as well. Definitely not heels. She's a sneakers type of girl. Black sneakers, yeah, why not? Blue jeans, black sneakers. That works for me. Works for her. I think we're good. Obviously, nothing on this screen has anything to do with the game, as far as like perks or whatnot. Okay, and as soon as we get here, we pause. Now, four things to keep in mind. So we've got Nema here. Energy, food, happiness, and money are going to be our primary drivers here. And as you can see, you start the game with very low energy. That's not ideal, but that's how the game starts. There's no getting out of it. Luckily, our stomach is full. We have 4,200 bucks to our name, but we have absolutely nothing else. We do not have a car. We do not have a house. We do not have a business. We have zilch. So what you do right now is very important. Now, one thing that the game's tutorial will teach you is if you, by the way, I'm hitting M here to go to the map view here. If we go down here to the supermarket, the supermarkets have a job that you can take where you actually work and get some form of a wage there. So independent of running a business, you have the ability to get some money into your pockets above what you started with. However, it's not very efficient. As working as a supermarket clerk would not be. So we're going to try to skip that step. So what we need is to go right into a business with the 4,200 bucks that we've got. And it's going to be tight, but it can be done. The first things that we want to do, though, is we need to look at the Market Insider here. Actually, before we even look at the Market Insider, first things first, we want to look at the maps, and we want to see what buildings, what retail buildings, yeah, let me turn off the supermarkets view here. What retail buildings are for rent? This is different every game. This is randomized, so you need to check. What I have available for me here might not be what you have. Now, the other things you want to take a look at here is the neighborhoods. Garment District, Hell's Kitchen, Murray Hill, and Midtown. In order, the Garment District is the lowest income, Hell's Kitchen is next, followed by Murray Hill, followed by Midtown. Getting your starting business in Midtown is probably not going to happen at all. However, depending on your luck, there may be some things in Murray Hill. Is this a small one? It is not. So if you look at a business here, they basically come in two sizes, the 225 square meters and then 75 square meters. You cannot afford the 225s at the beginning of the game. You have to go for a 75. And it looks like, well, unless we go like way out in the boot, yeah, here's a 75. But the other thing you're looking for is the traffic. The higher the number, the better, because it's just more naturally centrally located. So in past sort of test games, I've been able to snag one here in Murray Hill, but no such luck, but that's okay. We'll survive. Now let's go to Hell's Kitchen, see if there's a good 75 here. You're a 225, can't afford you. You're a 75 with a 38 traffic. That's really good. That's really good. 38, anything in the 30s or above, if you can get a 40, that's even better. What's this over here? Fine, but terrible traffic here. And that's too big. Yeah, it's a 47, but too big. So we have something in Hell's Kitchen. Let's now start looking at the market itself. So if we go to, make sure you're on Hell's Kitchen, because we need to see what is in demand for all of our different things. And it looks like there are no businesses. If you click on the demand here, it'll sort by what's most in demand. You want what's most in demand because you'll get more customers that way. Wine is good. Expensive gifts are good. And cheap gifts. So we could go into a liquor store. We could also go into a gift shop. The stores, the businesses the tutorial has you going right into a gift shop, and that's one of the ones that you can start with. Other early ones are clothing, flowers. Wine might be a little bit of a push, but I think we can make it work for us. So the only thing that I'm worried about with the wine, though, is that the wine itself, the product, is going to be very expensive. So I think I'm going to go with the gift shop here. It's just because we've got good things. And we'll go right for the expensive gifts. There is one other business selling gifts in the region, but they're only selling cheap gifts. And there's still plenty of demand for cheap. So we'll start with expensive. So now what we want to do is we actually want to, and this may seem like you're putting cart before the horse, because you might be saying, well, Pinstar, where's Nema going to live? Like, she doesn't have an apartment. Well, we'll get there. We'll get there. What we want to do is we need to build our business first, even before our own personal needs. We can slum it for a bit. This is Nema. She's not, she can handle it. So what we want to do is we need to rent this business. But probably what we should do, let's see here. Before we rent the business, we want to take care of some of our needs. We need to also scope out some of our other buildings here. So we need an appliance store. Luckily, the appliance store that we need for things is like right next door, which is really, really handy. We also need to be cognizant of the location of the bank. So yeah, we're gonna buy this business, or well, rent this business, I should say. It is gonna suck up 1,200 and then 42 per day. So we need to turn this around quickly. Start new business, gift shop. is what we want. But again, what you start is not necessarily going to be a gift shop. There are other things that you can get into easily on the ground floor. Some of them, like fast food restaurants, require a lot of equipment and a lot of money up front. So you can't really start with them, but they can be secondary or future businesses later on. For now, we're going to go with the gift shop. Now, let's think about a name, and let's pull up my name in game patrons, because they are going to be populating our names here. There we go, JC Joyful Gifts. A very upbeat, mirthful business. And thanks to our patron, JC, for lending her name to this. If you want your name in-game, take a look at my Patreon link down in the description for details on how to become a name in-game patron. So let's start our business. All right. So now we need some things, and we need some cash. And ironically, we need to get the things first before we can get the cash. I'll explain in a moment. But we need to get what is needed to populate this gift. And yes, I know we are still very low on energy. We have more important things to do than sleep. We'll get there. So we're going to set a quick destination here. I need to get my orientation here. Oh, opening in 1 hour, right. So one thing that you can do in here, and this is how we're going to sort of get by in our current state without any, is we're going to sleep on benches. And here we're just going to sleep a little bit to make an hour pass, but that does give us a little bit of energy. And now the store is open. Okay, now we're going to grab a hand truck, and so in order to sell gifts, we need a rounded shelf, we need a cabinet with drawers, we need a cash register, and oh, this is going to be real tight, isn't it? We have $2 to spare. But don't worry, we're good. We got what we need. We got $2 to spare. We like to cut it close around here. Let's place our order. Yep, down to $2. Let's not drop it. I don't think you can actually drop it. All right, nobody run us over, please. I also don't think you can get run over. You'll get beeped at, but yeah, so here's our store over here. JC's Joyful Gifts. We are in here. Let's put our stuff down. All right, rounded shelf. Let's place it. As far as I can tell, the placement does have a factor, but it's not hyper important. I'm just going to put it here for now. Let's see, cabinet with drawers. We can put you up here. Cash register, place it. Let me just make sure. Yeah, I think we need to flip this around. No, we don't need to assign ourselves. Oh no, I had it right the first time. That's fine. And then lastly, stack of shopping carts, or shopping baskets. Put it right here in the front. All right, now we have $2 to our name, but importantly, and this is why I did this, we have assets. We have tangible assets, which means we can go down to the bank and get a loan. The bank will only lend against what you have tangible assets, not counting cash. They actually want you to have stuff that you can borrow against, that they can repossess. Seems weird. You'd think that, if you had that much in just raw cash, they would, happily lend against the raw cash. But nope, you need to have tangible assets. So, new loan, please. I'm just going to say like 5,000. They'll tell you how much that you can actually do. $28.90. That's perfectly fine. Let's try again for $28.90. As we get more assets, then we'll be able to take out more loans, but this will get us what we need, because we have all of our furniture, but we don't actually have like products to sell, which is a problem because, you know, there's no way for us to get money. So now we need to find a wholesaler. So we'll turn those off. We turn that off because we don't need those. Wholesale store. Oh yeah, we can turn that off of that. So here's a problem though. We have a bit of a hike, but I mean, we don't have much of a choice. Also, there are 2 wholesale stores. Never at the moment, and I don't know why the game is balanced like this, never shop at the little one. The prices are higher and the selection is worse. The big one is much better. Granted, it's a little bit further, but it's worth it. It also has expensive gifts, whereas this one only has cheap gifts, and we want expensive gifts. So we are going to set destination and start hiking. Because we have a few things that we got to pick up there, just so that we can get the business open and running. I'll see you guys on the flip side. This is going to be a bit of a hike, and like I said, we don't have a car. All right, we made it. Nema, go in, please. Thank you. All right, now here we need to pick up, don't forget to grab the hand truck. You can buy stuff without the hand trucks, but we want multiple things. We need paper bags, boom. We want expensive gifts, bam. Can we afford another one of those? Probably not. We can afford another cheap gift, but because we do want to eventually sell some cheap gifts, but you know what? We'll hold off on that for now. Yeah, that's too much. We can't. As much as I'd like to buy 2 cartons of expensive gifts to save us the trip, let's just get the thing of expensive gifts. We're going to have to make another trip. It's not going to be super efficient, but it's going to be efficient financially. And we do need the paper bags. That is a requirement of the business. All right. All right, now making ourselves back up here. We are running low on energy. I will probably find a bench to camp out at. Let's just set this as our destination. Drop our stuff off. I'm not going to open the shop right away, obviously. But I don't want to dump the stuff off right now. The tutorial really spoils you when by giving you a freebie car, because this would be a lot faster and a lot easier if I had a freebie car, but I don't. We will be getting a car eventually, but we don't exactly have the money for it now. All right, so what you do here is you place them, and if there's anything, yeah, expensive gift, and they get auto-stocked. Now, business has no operating hours to find. We could open today, but that's going to be a little dicey because we are so exhausted, and we don't have anyone who we can hire right now. Now, luckily, we are next to a food market where we can buy food fairly cheap and readily available. And there's also a bench right here that we can chill. You know what? Just so that we can get a couple of bucks in our pocket, I kind of want to open the store a little bit, just a little bit. But then again, maybe we should just spend our time sleeping and eating. Let's see, they close at 2200. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to sleep some more until right before they close. So like 2 hours. We can run in here real quick. Grab a little fresh food. Oh, right. Shopping cart. Fresh food. Just one for now. Pay for it. And just nosh it right there in the store. But that takes care of our hunger meter. Oh, and yeah, you got to throw away your bench here. All right. Yeah, we could, if we really wanted to, get an apartment, but then we'd have to go shopping for a bed to actually use it properly. And then that's another thing of rent that we have to pay. And I'd rather not. It's too late to really do much of anything. So we're just going to sleep. We are fully rested. We could... There's not too much we can do right now because a lot of what we're doing is dependent on other businesses. And honestly, yeah, we could open the store for a little bit, but no one's going to really shop at 2 in the morning for gifts. Let's be very honest here. One thing we can do, we can look for... We can get some sodas, although let's not put the cart before the horse here. We can expand our offerings a bit more once we flip our inventory. So one thing we do want to be mindful of is the, where is it? The school. It's right there. That's wonderful. So the school, we have to finish a little business class in order to actually hire people, and then it costs money to actually hire people. But then that will allow us to get people actually working for us. But for now, I think we're going to be doing our own contacts here. So I think what I'm going to do, we're going to sleep for another 4 hours, even though we don't need it. And then we can go to business school for a little bit and just take, because you need to put in a total of 10 hours into business school. In order to pass that class. Okay, it's over here. So we might as well just chip away at it. And it opens real early. So if you're lacking for things to do, chip away at it with your classes here. So I'm going to study for 3 hours. Still don't have that. It does cost a little money to actually go to the school itself. But now we can go to our shop and actually open it. We haven't set our hours yet, but that's okay. I want to do them. I want to set them at 1 day at a time. So let's go to EconoView. Actually, Bisman is the one we want. Schedule. Today is Tuesday. We will open on Tuesday, and we will set our hours to be 10 to 1900. That should be good. We will assign ourselves. Business is currently closed, but it will be open momentarily. We can speed time up a little bit here. Oh, yeah, one other thing I wanted to do here is, since we are in Hell's Kitchen, and actually let's go to Market Insider, Hell's Kitchen. I remember there being something that showed us the here it is. So 82% middle class, 6% working class, and 12% upper class in Hell's Kitchen. Compare that to the garment district, which is mostly working class. So we can actually charge a little bit more money here for our expensive gifts. That is the whole reason why we looked for Hell's Kitchen. Right then, so the inventory and pricing. Base price is $48. Let's give it a little, let's pretend it's 50 and do a 10%. Like that, 55. Because what I want to see is I want to see if they bulk at that. We can see from their thoughts here about about how much they're willing to pay. So they bought one gift. Now we don't actually see the money until the end of the day. That's one thing. Let's speed things up. I want to see. Again, I want to see what they're thinking. They're going to yell at me for, ugly store and whatnot, or no music and whatnot. But if you set the price way too high, then they'll refuse to even touch anything. But I didn't see any complaints on that. Let's try. Let's look at one more, and then I'll just fast forward. All right. Well, let's time machine to the end of the shift and see how many people we actually sell to. All right, we are starving and really tired. Well, I'm glad we stopped when we did. Let's, we can go hit up the supermarket right next to us to deal with the food situation. And then we can hit up the bench right outside to deal with our sleeping situation. We are going to actually get a real apartment soon. Don't worry. Oop. One fresh food. Place order. Om nom, please. Thank you. We could also go to an eatery, which the food seems to be a little bit cheaper, but it restores a little bit less. All right, let's hit the bench and see what we made. And we'll see how much we made in our next episode, because you'll see once it crosses the midnight barrier. So, will we be able to turn a decent enough profit to get Nema a proper apartment? Will we be able to expand our business? Find out in our next episode of Big Ambitions, Strategy and Tactics. If you guys like this episode and you want to see more like it, go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and leave me a comment. Good, bad, or indifferent. Your feedback's always welcome. So until next time, it's been Pinstar signing out. See ya!